С вами я, Janie at the College Russian. Today is Poetry Понедельник. It is осень, наступила осень. So it is fall time. Я очень люблю осень. I really love осень. And I remember I was in Russia, the first time I was in Russia, I was out walking with a friend and we were at Воробьевы горы in в Москве. Воробьевы горы is the area right in front of Moscow State University, and there's a hill, and you can kind of see the whole city of Moscow from there. So we were there, and I still remember to this day. He told me, I told him, я очень люблю осень, и он сказал, Pushkin тоже очень любил осень. So Pushkin, he told me that Pushkin also loved fall as well. And sure enough, you can see that in his poems. He has a lot of poems about the fall. And he seems to really like that time of year. So today, in honor of the fall, we're going to read a little excerpt from the novel in verse, is what it's called, Евгений Онегин. Здравствуйте, добро пожаловать всем. Let me know, is it cold where you are? Наступила ли зима там, где вы живете? У нас сейчас очень красивая осень здесь, в Мэриленде. Я очень люблю осень. Сегодня тепло, даже не холодно. Сегодня прохладно, приятно. Я очень люблю осень. Скажите, где вы находитесь? И наступила ли зима у вас? Так. So we're going to talk about fall, and we're going to see some of the imagery of fall today. So let's get started. Again, this is from the novel in verse. It's technically a giant poem, but it's like a novel. There's main characters and everything like that, called Evgeny Onegin. And Pushkin is talking about the fall. So let's go ahead and get started. And again, it's really useful when you read Pushkin to have somebody who can kind of explain to you what's happening and so on. Let me change these. Okay, хорошо. Вот. Okay, so remember, we first go through and read it, and then we go through and do a word for word. Oh, good. So Virtue Boy says, на Южном Урале, in the south of the Ural Mountains, еще осень. Это хорошо. So it's still fall in the south of the Ural Mountains. Я знаю, что в моем родном штате, Юта, падал первый снег сезона. И это капец. Я была бы очень не рада, если бы здесь падал снег. Вот. Это наступила бы хандра. Вот. Okay, so here we go. Let's talk about Pushkin. Let me see if I can get my light a little bit better. What? Okay. So we go through, we're going to read it out. We're going to read it. And again, Pushkin has a very nice poem, or a very nice rhyming structure to it. So we're going to try and capture that rhythm as well. And then we'll go through and translate word for word, then talk about the grammar. And I really will love a lot of your input with translations as well. Окей, хорошо. Уж небо осенью дышало, уж реже солнышко блистало, короче становился день. Так, okay, so let's go through word for word. Уж, geez, I don't even know how to translate this. Oh, good. В Новосибирске еще прохладно. Это хорошо. Еще не наступила зима в Новосибирске. It's not winter yet in Novosibirsk. Это хорошо. Удивительно даже. Surprising even. Так. So I would love in the comments if somebody could tell me how to translate this. I don't even know. Maybe, oh, yay. I don't know. Maybe already. I don't know. This is a really, really, really hard word to translate into English. So небо is the sky. And осенью, we can translate this in two different ways. I'll be open to your suggestions for translating, but this can mean either in the fall or with the fall. Dышало means to breathe. Okay, to breathe. Уж реже солнышко блистало. Okay, again, I don't know how to translate this already, maybe. Реже means more rarely. Солнышко, I love this word. Sunshine. Sunshine, солнышко. So it's the diminutive of солнце. Солнце. Блистало, to glow, or maybe shine. Let me know which word, how you would translate this word, блистало. Then, короче, становился день. Shorter. Became daytime in this context. It could be the day. It could also be daytime. Okay, so there's that. Now let's look at the grammar. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to give the original. So небо is a neuter. And that's the original. So it hasn't changed because it's the nominative. It's the subject of the sentence. Okay, so осень is a feminine. Осень is a feminine. And here we're getting instrumental case because depending on how you want to translate this, the sky is breathing with the fall, like it's breathing by means of the fall, or it can also mean in the fall, in the autumn, right? So like, for example, I always am telling my students, you do not say, я люблю гулять в осенью. Nope, that's not correct grammar. You do not need the v. You just say, я люблю гулять осенью. I love to go out for walks in the fall. You do not need v. But I think in this context, we're getting, it's the, again, correct me in the comments if you don't agree, but I think the sky is breathing by means of the fall. And that's why we're getting instrumental. Just let me know. Like, it's like the sky is breathing in and out the smells of fall, kind of. Okay, next. Реже. Okay, this is fun. We're going to do a little bit of vocab practice here. This comes from the word, this is what's called a superlative, right? Bigger, better, faster, stronger, more. And this comes from the word редкий or редко. Редко. So in just a second, we'll practice some of these superlatives. Sunshine. This is the subject of the sentence, so it's a nominative case. And as you can see by the o on the end, it is a neuter. Okay? Блистало, that comes from the verb. This is the past tense. Neuter of блистать. Okay? Next, короче. There's another superlative. It's another superlative. Bigger, better, faster, etc. Superlative. And this comes from the word коротко or короткий. Короче. Так. Становился. This is the past tense masculine. And the reason we're getting a masculine in past tense is because it is the day. And day is masculine. So we get a masculine past tense. The original of this is становиться. Так, становиться. Okay, so let's take a minute and maybe try and come up with a nice translation of this. So the sky is already breathing in the fall. The sunshine is shining less often, more rarely. The day became shorter. Okay, good. Okay, real quick before we go on to the next part of the poem, we're going to practice making superlatives. Okay, so superlatives are anything that's like comparing it, bigger, biggest. Comparative, yeah, you can say comparative. Superlative means anything that is like a little bit bigger, but yeah, you can call it comparative as well. It's the same concept. Okay, here we go. Интересный. So this column, these are super easy to make to make into comparatives, right? So if you want to say more interesting, guess what? All you have to do is take that off and go yeah. Интереснее. Okay, try this one. How would you say prettier, more beautiful? Super easy. Just put on a yeah. Красивее. Например, моя сестра красивее, чем я. Моя сестра красивее, чем я. My sister is prettier than me. Бедный. Беднее. Poorer, right? Poorer. Длинный. Длиннее. Good. And then приятнее. Да? Вот. So those ones are super easy. And typically if you see an adjective with a li on the end, it's really easy to just put this ye on the end. Now these ones are not going to be so easy. These ones are trickier. They have a consonant mutation. So we already saw this one in the poem. Короче. Then we have ниже. Oh, sorry, spelling that. Так. Ближе. For some reason I am I think this has ближе. I'm forgetting the spelling right now because I'm always nervous when I do my live streams. Okay, this one goes to чаще. You guys can correct me in the comments. I'm sure they will. Чаще. So notice this one gets a mutation. Богаче. Богаче, richer. And then look at this one. Плохой is going to go to a totally different word. A totally different word. Хуже. Хуже. Yes, that's what I thought. Thank you. Спасибо. Ближе. Хуже. Хуже. Так. Just like хорошо is totally different word. Just like it is in English. Хорошо goes to лучше. Totally different word. Okay, good. So those are what are called comparatives or superlatives, whatever you want to call them. Let's go to the next part of the poem. Are you ready? Okay, so this kind of has multiple parts here. Here we go. So this is where the word order is going to get crazy. Get ready for the word order. Okay. Лесов таинственная сень. Лесов таинственная сень с печальным шумом обнажалась. Next part. Ложился на поля туман. Okay, so let's go and translate this word for word. Okay, лесов. Okay, so you're going to notice here that the word order needs to be switched around for this to make sense. So лесов means, let's see, what color did I do over here? Forests. Ooh, таинственная. This is a fun one for translating. How would you translate таинственная? I would say mysterious, or let's say mystical. Mystical. That's a good one. Mystical. Сень. I'm going to say this is a canopy. It can also mean a shadow. Yes, good. Mysterious, mystical. And then I'm going to translate сень as canopy. You could also translate it as shade, shadow, but I'll show you why I like canopy in just a second. С печальным шумом. Okay, so this means with sad noise. Oh, this is a fun one to translate. Обнажаться. Обнажаться means to be stripped down. So was stripped down. It can also mean this, like if you get naked, if you take off your clothes, you're doing this same verb, right? So this is going to be was stripped down. Okay, so let's go. And then down here we've got ложился, lay down or lie down on the fields of fog. Okay, so as you guys can see, the word order is crazy. So this is why you got to know grammar to know what goes where. Добрый вечер всем. Добро пожаловать. Welcome. Okay, so here we go. Let's look at the grammar. Вот. Лесов. Okay, so guess what? Сень is the subject of this sentence. We're going to kind of work backwards. Сень is the thing in nominative. And it is, if you didn't know the gender of this, if you look at something with a mякий знак and you're like, oh, is it a masculine or is it feminine? Guess what? Look at the adjective right in front of it. Yeah? So the adjective right in front of it, as you can see, is a feminine. So that tells us, all right, сень is a feminine. Okay? So таинственная сень, this is the nominative, and these are both feminines. And it's the subject of the sentence. This is the thing doing the verb. Okay, so таинственная сень, so the mystical canopy of the forests. So we get the original of this is just лес. It's a masculine. And we're getting genitive plural because there's an of. There's an of here. The mystical canopy of the forest с печальным шумом обнажалась. Okay, so обнажалась is a feminine past tense because сень is a feminine. Okay, so here we go. The original of this was обнажаться. And again, this means either to get naked, like to take off your clothes. But I like the idea, if you think about the forest, they lose their leaves, right? Their leaves are like their clothing, and they take them off in the fall. So обнажаться, we've got a past tense feminine here. Okay, so now we've got a little bit of instrumental case here. So anytime we see с, meaning with, we're going to get instrumental case. So с печальным, the original of this was печальный, meaning sad. And we're getting masculine instrumental. Same thing here. This is a masculine instrumental. The original of it is just шум. So the mystical canopy of the forest was stripped down with a sad noise, right? The noise of the leaves falling off the trees. Okay. Next, ложился на поля туман. Okay, again, the word order is crazy. But guess what? The subject of the sentence is туман. Туман. So that's the nominative. Oh, that's confusing. So it's originally a masculine. And this is a nominative case because it's the one doing the verb. So the fog is the thing that lies down. So туман ложился на поля. This one, and let's actually turn this into onto the fields. We're getting accusative case here. This is a neuter plural, and the original of it was поле. Okay, so we're getting accusative here. And it's not a feminine singular. It's not a living creature, so it doesn't change. And then this is a masculine past tense verb. The original of it is ложиться, to lie down. You also do this verb when you go to bed. Я ложусь спать поздно, например. I go to bed. I lay myself down to sleep late. Okay? So now let's try doing a nice translation of this. Okay? So the mystical forests, the mystical canopy of the forests was stripped down with a sad noise. A fog has lied down on the field. Right? So as you can see, this is all painting the imagery of the fall. Next, okay, this is gonna get ready for some crazy word order, very crazy word order. Гусей крикливых караван тянулся к югу, приближалась довольно скучная пора. Так, okay, so here we go, crazy word order. Гусей крикливых караван. Guess what? This is the subject of the sentence. Oh, let's translate it. Okay. Гусей, geese. Крикливых. Let me know. How would you translate this one? This is a funny one. How could we translate крикливый? Крикливый. So this is the sound that the geese make. In English, we might say something like squawking, but that's just really a not pretty word. I don't know if it would be used in poetry because it's not a pretty word. Squawking geese, like that sounds really ugly. And then caravan. A caravan. Okay. Тянулся. Тянулся. I'm going to call this stretch. Let me know if you agree with that or not. Stretched to the south. Приближалась, approached, like grew close. So you can see this word ближе. Where have we seen that before? We just saw that right here. Близкий, to be closer, right? So approach or grows closer, draws nearer. Довольно. I'm going to just translate this as rather. Скучная. Let me know how you would translate скучная in this context, because in everyday context, it means boring. Loudmouth. Yeah, although loudmouth we usually say about people. And it means if you say a person is loudmouth, it means they are very opinionated. It means it's not a very good thing to call somebody loudmouth. So it's usually, loudmouth is usually about people. I wouldn't say that about geese. Yeah, крикливый. I don't know. Can you call a person крикливый in Russian? Он крикливый человек? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Does that sound, because it sounds weird to call a person loud, or to call an animal loudmouthed in English. Okay, also скучная. Normally this would translate as boring, but I'm gonna say that this one is, in a poetic context, I'm gonna say it's melancholy. Yeah, melancholy. Para, time. I'm gonna even call this time of year. Time of year. Para is a good one. It can translate in lots of different words. Yeah, lots of different words. So here we go. Let's do the grammar. Okay. So the subject of this sentence is, okay, но если вы говорите, что он крикливый человек, что это значит? Это значит, что он постоянно ноет, жалуется, он выражает очень громко и неприятно свои мнения, он все время противоречит, например, потому что по-английски loudmouth – это такой человек, который вообще никогда не закрывает рот, знаете? Я как, ой, ну, пожалуйста, да, вот он такой loudmouth все время, как, да, постоянно вот, yeah, sort of annoying. Okay, interesting, очень хорошо, крикливый, он крикливый, все время ноет, да, жалуется, вот так. Okay, so let's do the grammar here. So this is the subject of the sentence. This is masculine, and that is why it's a nominative case, and it's the thing doing this verb right here, okay? So we're actually going to start this sentence with a caravan, and then there's a little of in here, which is why we're getting genitive plural. And the original of this is just goose, goose. And it's a masculine, by the way. It's normally a masculine. Крикливый, this is also genitive plural because this is what the geese are. They're squawking. Genitive plural. And the original is just крикливый, just like that. Тянулся, тянулся. Okay, so this is a masculine past tense because it's referring to the caravan. The caravan is the thing that's stretching, right? Not the geese, the caravan. Yeah, крикливый is somebody who's always yelling. So I think maybe squawking, even though it's an ugly word in English, it's the same concept, right? Like, just like, oh, geez, очень громко. Они не закрывают рот, они все время кричат, типа. Okay, so next. So, and the original of this is тянуться. Then юг this is a masculine originally, and it's getting dative case here because of the k. The original is юг. Так. Приближалась, приближалась. This is a feminine, and it's in past tense. The original of it is приближаться. And it's a feminine because it's referring to this. Yeah. So this, look at, it's at the end of the sentence, but it's the subject of the sentence. For English speakers, this is crazy. This is crazy, right? To have the subject of the sentence at the end of the sentence. Really weird. Довольно, this is just an adverb, doesn't really get a case. Скучная пора. So as you can see, this is a feminine, right? We can see that this is a feminine because of right here. Скучная пора. Пора is a great word. If you just say, ну хорошо, мне пора, it means like, all right, it's time for me to go. I gotta go. Time for me, right? But it can also mean пора, meaning like time of year, season, etc. Приближалась. Довольно скучная пора. Okay, let's go to our last line of the poem. Стоял ноябрь уж у двора. And there's that уж word again that I just don't know how to translate. It drives me crazy. So стоял ноябрь уж у двора. Let's go word by word. Standing, or let's do this past tense. Stood. November. Already at or slash by the door. Okay, let's do some grammar breakdown. So ноябрь is the subject of the sentence. Okay, so ноябрь. And guess what? I have a really great trick for you. In Russian, all months of the year are masculine. All of them. Every single one is masculine. Isn't that easy to remember? So when you go to put those into prepositional case, they're all just going to get a "е" on the end. В январе, в феврале, в марте, в апреле, в мае, в июне, в июле, в августе, в сентябре, в ноябре, в октябре. So those are all, they're all masculine. That's really easy to remember. So because this is a masculine, that explains why we're getting a masculine past tense right here. And the original of this is стоять. Стоять. Так. Уж, again, that super difficult article that I don't even know how to translate. U forces genitive case. So here we're getting genitive masculine. The original of it was двор. Двор. Or I don't know actually if I would say, oh, by the yard. Yes, thank you. You've read my mind, Алексей. Вы хорошо, спасибо, вы мне помогли. Двор is like the yard. It can be your front yard, your backyard, kind of. So it's not the door. I miswrote there. It means the yard. Door is дверь, and it's a feminine, interestingly. But they come from the same word root. Okay, so хорошо. So let's do the whole poem one last time, putting it into good English as much as I'm capable. Again, in the comments, I would love to see your translations because I am not a professional poet, nor am I a professional translator. So here we go. Уж небо осенью дышало, уж реже солнышко блистало, короче становился день. Лесов таинственная сень с печальным шумом обнажалась, ложился на поля туман. Гусей крикливых караван тянулся к югу, приближалась довольно скучная пора, стоя ноябрь уж у двора. Okay, so one last time in English. The sky was breathing with the fall. Already the sunshine was shining more rarely. The daytime had become shorter. The mystical canopy of the forests was stripped down with a sad noise. A fog had fallen on the fields, or a fog had laid down on the fields. A caravan of squawking geese stretched to the south, approaching. Oh no. Okay, we've got to change the word order of this. A rather melancholy time of year approached. November was standing at the door. By the way, if you guys go to the community tab, somebody commented on my post and they provided a really good English translation of this that they had found. Definitely go make sure and listen to the whole poem being read. It's really beautiful. And that's all. Oh, that's a great translation. У двора, at the gate. That sounds very poetic. Мне очень нравится этот вариант. Спасибо. Увидимся на следующей неделе в среду. Потому что понедельник – это у нас праздник, и я буду занята. Я извиняюсь, но у нас праздник, и у меня 4 детей, и у них всех свои костюмы. То есть следующий понедельник у меня забит делами. Хорошо, это все. Увидимся на следующей неделе. До свидания. Пока-пока.